guys, here we are, Newport Harbor, site number 2. We're gonna start water sampling. I'm gonna show you how to do it. First things first, we're gonna get our sample bag out of the cooler. Site number 2, and in this bag we have a couple things, I'll show you. A plunger, and this thing called a Swinex. We call it cassettes too. It has a filter inside it. So what we're gonna do is get some water, put it in the syringe, plunger, 50 mils twice, so 100, and flush it through. And the chlorophyll is gonna get caught on the filter paper. And then we're gonna extract that later. So here we go, put these down for a sec. Gotta get the sample bottle out. Sample bottle F. We're gonna write that down for later. We're gonna get the claw and put the sample bottle in the claw. Make sure it's tight, because you don't want to lose this. Nice and snug. Gonna go down as close as we can to the seagrass and invert. There you go. All right, first things first, take plunger out and attach to the Swinex. We're gonna do 50 mils. We're doing great. 50 more. All good. Okay, now that we just filtered that, we're gonna put this away in foil for later because it's sensitive to the light. We're gonna save this water for later too, because we're gonna put this through a turbidity filter called the Lamont. Back in the cooler to keep it cold. Okay, so what we're gonna do is drop this down, and we're gonna use it for a few different things. First, to see how deep it is that we could see the disc. So we try to go as far down as we can to not see it, and then bring it up to where you can see it, and you mark where it is. But in this case, we hit the bottom. So we know how deep that is. We'll figure that out. But what we're gonna do now is take a color code. So we take it a foot off the bottom.
And we have 5 categories, so you're either gonna determine that it's category 1, indigo blue to greenish blue, category 2, greenish blue to bluish green, category 3, greenish, category 4, greenish brown to brownish green, and category 5, brownish green to cola.
Yep, so you take a look. You compare it off the white part of the Secchi disc.
What do you think it is?
No?
I'd go for
almost 2. 3? You're saying green?
I'd say a greenish.
I'd say maybe it's the reflecting off the kayak. 2 or 3. We got 2 different readings here. That's how it goes out there.
There you go.
2 or 3.
So we'll write down both of them.
Depth finder. So we just use the Secchi disc to find the depth as well, but this thing's pretty accurate. It's like a little laser. So we're gonna put it in, pointed towards the bottom. We're gonna take a couple different readings. 5.3.
How'd you take the reading?
Huh?
What'd you do to take the reading?
Well, I slid the tab over
Oh,
for 3 seconds and let it go.
wow.
5.3 again. 5.2. 5.3. So sometimes you get a wide range of readings from this, and that could tell you that it's hitting the bottom, but then it's also hitting the top of a seagrass bed. And so based on the two numbers, you can kind of figure out, you know, what is the bottom versus what's the seagrass bed. In this case, and I can see through down to the bottom, the seagrass is pretty flat on the sediment. So we're gonna go with this reading. Yeah, 5.3, 5.4. We're good.
Hi guys, I'm going to show you how we do the YSI. So the YSI is giving us dissolved oxygen as well as temperature. So this is what the end of the sensor looks like. It had a cover on it. I took it off. And it has to run for 5 minutes before we take any data. So it's been running since we started collection this morning. Hayden took the depth at 4 feet above the seagrass where we are now. So I'm going to drop it down to 3 feet, just a foot above the bottom of the seagrass, and we have it taped for measurements. So then we're gonna move it around. It needs to move, I think, a foot per second. So I'm gonna move it around constantly, and I can see the readings. It's giving me 3 different readings. So I'll read those off to Hayden for him to write down.
All right, Anna, what's this?
So this is our PAR sensor.
What's it do?
It measures light that is penetrating down to the seagrass. So we have this handy dandy setup that we put together every sampling. And the sensor shows us the reading. So I'm gonna drop it down again to 3 feet and let it rest. And we don't want it to be in the shadow of the kayak, so I have to kind of hold it out. You can see the light bulb down there. And I'm getting a reading on the sensor that we will take down.